in Bali, there's like this suburb that it used to be like Seminyak used to be the hub. That was like the best place to go. It got too crowded, so everybody started to move. It's all these like-minded people, like literally like us, people making money online, doing what we're talking about, the new rich. So it's like focusing on health, fitness, making money. It's literally like where we fit in.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, bro.
The vibe there is like people make money to be able to live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Like in the West, it's like they live to be able to go to work.
Just consume more shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like they consume more shit because they feel some level of depression.
Yeah.
We're obviously in a new environment today.
Yes.
Let's explain why. Dylan made a beautiful 2-minute video, which we're going to put in the link of the description, about how we make money in the West and we spend it in the East. Currently today, we are in the East, spending a little bit of that money. We're going to explain the principles, how it works, and let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen.
Remember when we were reading 4-Hour Work Week? It was like in that book, Tim Ferriss talks about, it's like the concept of the new rich. So it's all about, making money in the West, or trying to find, how can you make as a powerful currency like the US dollar? Can you make money online perhaps? And then that gives you the ability, that freedom, and then you just like travel anywhere. So you have that freedom as well. And then if you're like in a place like Bali or here, we're in Kuala Lumpur, the dollar is powerful. And the life that you can have is just, tremendous. Like, look at this hotel we're at now. We're testing it out. So this one, it goes around $150 to about $250 a night for the standard room. There's more expensive ones, but the current room, like, what would that go for in Australia?
Well, I think this is at least 10 times better than Crown.
Crown does
goes
it
for like what, 400 a night?
Yeah, Crown's terrible,
What do you
man.
get? Like,
Even like the suites in Crown, that you get like 3 rooms in, that cost like $4,000 for 3 nights. It smells like someone's been smoking there their entire life.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. And like the furnishings, it's so outdated.
Yeah.
I also noticed that, like in Melbourne, Crown is pretty much in the heart of Melbourne, but it still feels like it's D-class.
Yeah.
Like the standards are so low in Australia, and you spend more money.
Yeah.
Like in the East, the one thing that I think all of us have experienced is the level of their standards are much higher.
Yeah.
They provide more service for less money.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like a great point of being able to spend West money in the East, is they get to build like much higher quality shit. Like to build something like this, we're staying at Park Royal in Kuala Lumpur. How much do you reckon this costs? Australian dollars to build.
Oh, it's a build. This is huge. This is a monster.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the number.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of money. It's going to be a lot.
Yeah, but the point is, like, to do that in Australia, it's like
It's too much.
3 times as much.
Yeah.
But it's not really feasible. And the people in Australia, I'm not even sure people appreciate quality in Australia. Yeah, I don't know about you boys, but if our idea of quality is Crown, fucked.
I was thinking like,
Go to Japan.
when we were staying at the Golden, I had the double sized room. Normally that if you book early, that's like $50. You get like practically a whole apartment.
Yeah.
It's that big. That's the size of the suites at Crown.
Yeah.
And that's got the buffet
nice.
breakfast. The quality of the food's gone down a little bit. It's not as tasty as it once was. But for that amount of money, $50 and less.
Yeah.
Some of those rooms are going for $30 a night. It's crazy.
You can't really compete. It's madness. I watched the 4-Hour Work Week summary before, just to make sure I had the knowledge in it. I reheard the example of like relative income. So I think it's talking about the idea of like freedom and how how rich are you really?
Yeah.
So people think that earning a high wages means you're rich. So there's an example here I might just outline.
Yeah.
It's perfect. There's 2 guys, all right? One of them earns $30,000 a year. One of them earns $150,000
I know the answer, 3K.
All right, next up, boys. That was quick.
Go on.
Okay, maybe to explain why the answer is For the people that have no fucking idea. The guy who earns 30K a year, he works 10 hours a week. The guy who earns 150 a year works 80 hours a week. So as an hourly wage, the 30K a year is making $58 an hour. 150K is making $36 an hour. So just per hour, the other guy is considerably wealthy. Now, even the quality of living in, say, the East is much higher, as we were saying. So if you want to go out for a fancy meal, it might cost you $20. If you live in a Western country, even if you're earning $150,000 a year, that same fancy meal might cost you $200. Yeah. So who really is richer?
Yeah.
And the question is, or the answer is like that, as you said, the 30K a year, because that money goes a lot further. Yeah, more freedom.
Because like, boys, what are you guys like? What are some of the highlights so far that you guys have experienced being in the East?
You boys go first.
Yeah, well, I think like your energy immediately just lifts up. Like it's hard to explain how just being in a different place makes you want to work harder, work more. You're instantly happier. Connections with people goes up. Everything is just better.
I think there is something to that, like that. We were once nomads. A lot of people are supposed to travel. You know, keep changing your environment. There is something to it. Like if you're just in the same environment every single day, it like destroys your brain. And like, you know, like certain things like I reckon even with depression and stuff, like no one talks about that. Hey, if you have a decent amount of money and then you just keep changing, you're traveling everywhere, it's actually hard. Like it really does help. You know, what percentage of people that have depression, I bet you it helps. I bet you.
Absolutely.
I feel like we all look different and like when we're traveling.
Oh yeah.
Like back at home, we looked a lot more dull.
Faces line up, yeah.
Now, we're just like full of energy.
The thing I like is just meeting with people that are like similar to us. Like an example I'll use is we went to Body Factory and just talked to so many people that were living the same lifestyle as us, and they're just traveling and working off their laptop literally and investing, and it's amazing seeing that. Like back home, you don't see that as much.
That's the typical Canggu vibe,
Yeah.
Hang around all the Canggu boys and girls.
Back home, like people think what we're doing is weird. But then like when you travel, it's like, no, this is like the most normal shit ever.
I feel like we're at war in Australia.
Yeah.
Like we're always fighting.
Like I was telling the boys, like I feel like my confidence is a lot lower in Melbourne because I got to keep explaining myself what I'm doing and everything. And here, everyone just seems to understand it. Or like in Bali, everyone seems to understand it.
I think we should explain like the Canggu situation. So like in Bali, there's like this suburb that it used to be like Seminyak used to be the hub. That was like the best place to go in Bali. Then it got too crowded, so everybody started to move 2 suburbs along, still on the beach. And it was like the surfer vibe and all of that. And it's all these like-minded people, like literally like us, people making money online, doing what we're talking about, the new rich, and all of that. So it's like focusing on health, fitness, making money. It's everyone just squished together in this one little suburb. So it's like, it's literally like where we fit in. It's unbelievable. Like
the vibe there is like people make money to be able to live life to the fullest. Like in the West, it's like, they live to be able to go to work.
Just consume more shit.
Exactly.
It's kind of like they consume more shit because they feel some level of depression. It's kind of like a caged animal in a way. And when you're traveling, you just feel free.
Should we explain the fucking 2-minute photography session we got?
Oh my god.
Boys.
I think that's better
I don't think I've learned
degree that you can ever do, and we got it done for $10. $10, we learned how to make.
Dude, wasn't it take ring it?
Yeah, it's $10.
$3. Just $3 fifth, right? We learned how to take the best photos. Like we don't even need these cameras.
So what happened was we were all taking photos outside the Petronas in Malaysia. And then all these boys are asking to take photos of us. And initially we're like, oh, these guys are just ripping us off. But then they came up to us and they like showed us how to take photos.
So this is some Naval shit.
And instantly the camera's like way better.
I know.
This is some specific knowledge, man.
They're so good with the manual settings in the iPhone.
It's ridiculous. Like we've been staying for about a week week and a half, they're like, dude, the iPhone is shit. She can't take photos low light.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's not possible. We get here, Kuala Lumpur, $3 min, $3. She's done.
But my point with that was like, I'd never learned anything like that in Australia. Whereas I came here and then.
How is that not a video? Like,
Yeah.
How has no one made that as a video?
Yeah.
She probably is a video too.
Like, how come it's not 1 minute? Like, it's literally a 30-second video. Like, do this.
There you go, boys.
Building up on your point, it's just the culture here is just like
Yeah.
learning, and everyone's so free that they're expressing kind of what they know and sharing what they know and kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
In Australia, some person's taking a photo, you've got a goddamn tent around it just to be able to make sure you don't know their settings. It's intense.
I've been going back to that point though of the people, like if you're making 30,000 and 150, imagine you're just making 30,000 online from your investments by doing nothing. You're actually set. If you come to the East, you're actually set. You're done. You don't need to do anything else.
Absolutely.
Whenever like we talk about making money online in different currencies compared to like where you're from, especially in the East, I always think about like YouTube is probably the biggest in India, like in the whole world, because there's more than 1 billion people in India, and the Indian rupee is quite weak compared to the US dollar. But there's boys on there making US dollars living in India. That is the life. You literally live like royalty there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's millions of subscribers. They're just making that much money in US dollars.
Yeah.
That's the hack.
There's no better way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like, even now we're traveling and our expenses are going to be higher than say if we actually lived here. So let's say we're here for 3 months roughly, traveling and working. We spend in between 5 and 10. That's probably like, there's probably an extra 50% of our expenses on top of that. Like we could have spent half as much if we actually lived here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Plus we've got still rent back home, so we're not shooting costs for the kids with the rent and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you chopped it off. A lot of people have chopped it off. The amount of people living in Canggu, they've just chopped off everything and just moved to Bali.
Yeah,
It's
I think
more than any country.
that's definitely one other thing that I've picked up on is like, I don't want to own too much shit.
Yeah, you be careful.
Like the less shit you own, the more flexibility you have.
Absolutely.
And you can just move around and not feel weighed down.
Yeah.
Like when we have stuff back at home, it's like, fuck, I don't need any of that shit. You know?
I was thinking,
just need a suitcase.
when you were saying like people just move straight to Bali, and like let go of all of the things that I have back home, my first thought is like a lot of people will be like kind of scared to do that because they leave their family and all that kind of stuff. I thought people live like 4, 5, 6 hours away from their family, but the difference is they can drive there. Right? Yeah. What's the difference of being able to take a plane 5 hours?
Yeah.
What's the difference? There's no difference.
It's a mindset thing. I feel like as well, like people are just thinking like, oh, I'm from Melbourne or whatever city, I have to stay there. But it's like, it's Melbourne. It's like, we've just made up this little area called Melbourne. And then it's like, oh no, I'm from Victoria. Oh no, I'm from Australia. Actually, you should start thinking like, not even from different countries. Like, I'm just from Earth. You know, I can go anywhere I want. You know,
We've
Earth
just
is one
associated
thing.
ourselves with that one specific like, city. I'm in Melbourne.
And I can like do the maths on it as well. Like, you know, because we've been traveling quite a lot, and I always say like, well, how much? Like everyone's excuse like, oh, about family and all of that. Well, how many actual days do you spend with your family per year?
Quality time.
And actual quality stuff.
Absolutely. I don't think it would change, even if you lived overseas.
Yeah.
When the flight's $500-600, you know, a grand both ways, and you come over. Let's say you come over for a week and you just spend the week with them. You know, 7 days or 2 weeks, 14 days. Like that's probably not that different unless you live with them. Even when you live with them, you just work and you never see them.
I reckon as well, like, you know, when Naval was talking about if you're in business and you're an entrepreneur and all of that, you want to go in short bursts, like sprints. You don't just want to slug it out like a marathon. So it plays on your mind as well. I feel like that actually works with family. Like if you just sprint and just see your family like crazy and condense it, and then you flee and you go away, and then they value you more because you're gone. You're now a rare commodity. And then when you come back and you spend more quality time. So I think it's like, it plays on your psychology as well, because now it's not a slug, it's not a marathon thing. And it's actually works the reverse way as well, because you can't see them for ages. They can't see you for ages. You literally can't see each other because you're far away. And then when you are together, it's way better.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I was in like the 48 laws of power as well. Like absence builds respect for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. 100%.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people like tend to associate themselves with like the things that they have back home as well. Like let's say if someone has a car, they're like, "Oh, my car's back home," or "My house is back home."
You a fucking car.
Boys, we got Grab. We got the Alpha here, boys. Oh, we should talk about the Alpha. So, the Alpha, do you want to explain what it is? Because it's an epic machine.
Yeah. There's this thing called a Toyota Alphard. It's pretty much the Asian Maybach. Right?
Maybach.
She's just like, what is it? It's like a limousine on wheels.
She's Rolls Royce.
We looked up the prices in Australia, right? They're like 120 G's.
They're not cheap.
They're not cheap.
Toyotas, so they're
But
expensive.
literally every third or fourth car here is an Alpha.
Yeah.
Dude, it makes no sense.
Well, the Alphards are there.
Yeah.
There's only like 5 out the front of the
Oh, is that's the one.
Oh yeah, there's one.
There's one there.
There's one.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like a Rolls Royce in the back with like 2 massive armchairs that you can just, you're just chilling in. Like on the way from the airport to where we are now, Sis is just in the back.
It's just chilling.
He's the best
loving
shit.
it.
It's so good. And I'm like, she's the best shit. Where you see, I feel like in Australia, people don't actually know about the Alpha. And they also look at it and they're like, oh, that's effective.
Yeah.
They're
It
like,
looks good on the
oh,
outside.
yeah,
That's the good thing about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like soccer mom thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't know about it,
But it's
oh,
like
okay.
you can't see inside. It's like full tinted windows at the back. It's full privacy.
But that's like the best way to travel, like the most lavish way to travel. If you were to get something like that in Australia, which you can't, like on Uber and stuff.
Oh yeah, on Uber you can't.
Uber, like, how much does it cost now in Australia? Just to like go 30-minute drive is like $60.
7 kilometers cost me around $24.
Yeah, $24 will get you an Alphard.
But I think the people don't know, there's literally a setting, there's an option on the phone that says Alphard.
Yeah.
You have Alphard setting and it rocks up.
That's outrageous. And then even grabs here, like travel. I mean, it's busy here, so traffic is a bit score sometimes. But you're happy to wait because you sit in the car for an hour and an Alphard costs you $2.40, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If I'm in a goddamn hatchback for 1 hour, it costs me $110, I'm pissed.
Thank you to everyone who made it this far into episode 34. Unfortunately, the camera decided to cut out while we were away, so we have a very abrupt ending. Please like, comment, subscribe. We will see you in episode 35. Pack her up, and thank you for listening.